Originally this was with the meter and routing tabs presentation, but I've separated the two because I felt there was too much to take in at once. So this one is just about the monitor tab. So this is the monitor tab in the monitor section. So you can choose what you want to monitor and how loud it is. There's a mute button above the level, so you can choose to mute that as well. If you've plugged your headphones into the front of the X32 rack, you're on the monitor bus. Source trim allows you to turn up or down the volume of the monitor source without affecting the solo volume. The solo volume is what you'll hear when you press solo on a channel. Dim attenuation indicates how much the output will be turned down by. There is a dim button above this. Now it's minus 20 dB on this screen grab, but if you press that dim button above it, then you'll hear that dim attenuation. If you don't press that dim button, you won't hear the dim attenuation. There is a delay for the monitor bus, which can help to time align sounds if you're a long way from the speakers. There are lots of solo options on the monitors. Exclusive, only one channel can be soloed at a time, so if you have that ticked, then when you select another channel to be soloed, you deselect the previous channel to be soloed. So only one channel can be soloed at a time. If you've selected solo follows select, then the solo will follow that. Only if the solo has been turned on, not if the solo has not been turned on. Select follows solo means that when you solo a channel, it will be selected. Channel solo AFL, well, solos are after fade level. AFL stands for after fade level rather than PFL, pre-fade level. So it will be after the fader, so if you pull the fader down you'll hear it, rather than pre-fade, which means that if you pull the fader down or pull it up you won't hear anything. If your mix bus solo is AFL, it will be after the fade level. You can separate the channel solo as AFL, but the mix bus could be PFL, but the mix bus can also be AFL as well. If you solo a DCA, it will be after fade level as well. And use dim for PFL, so it turns down the soloed channel by the dim amount. So it's, instead of being soloed and being very loud, it turns it down. And using master fader, well, that controls the solo level using the console's master fader. That's in the front of the X32 rack, not in the Xedit software. So you need to turn down the solo level or turn up the solo level using the console's master fader. There are two talkback sections, talkback A and talkback B. The X32 rack doesn't have a microphone built into it, so on the back of it you'll find that there's a talkback microphone can be plugged in. There's where you can plug the microphone in on the back of the X32 rack. So enable turns the talkback section on, and you can turn on latching or set the mic's level. You can choose where you're going to send the Talkback Destination A to. If monitor dim is turned on, all the monitor buses would be turned down. Talkback A Destination sets where the talkback mic is being routed to. Like a lot of mix engineers, use Talkback A to talk to the band if they have their headphones on, and I use Talkback B to tell the band to put their headphones on, so it's also routed to the main left-right bus. That's the main difference between the two Talkbacks A. In the Lotharios, I use buses 1 to 12 for headphone feeds because there are 12 outputs on the back of the X32 rack, so that's where I'm routing my talkback to. I use buses 13 to 16 for any effect sense, so there's no point in sending talkback to them because there's nobody to listen to the talkback. The monitor tab also has an oscillator. The tone button turns the oscillator on or turns it off. Destination sets where it will go to, where will the oscillator be routed to. The level fader sets the oscillator's level, so how loud it is. And frequency 1 and 2 they set the frequency of the sine wave frequencies, but if you have pink noise or white noise, they don't have any effect on pink noise or white noise. Pink noise is usually used to ring out speakers on a PA system. White noise is used for scientific measurements,